Next is liquids. Liquids like water, oil or juice have the following properties. So water, oil or juice, they all are called liquids and they have following properties. The molecules are not very closely packed. They are not very closely packed. Yes, because they have more intermolecular space between the molecules. Unlike the solids, they have more spaces between their molecules. The intermolecular force is weaker than that in solids because molecules are separate, molecules are far apart from each other. That's why their intermolecular space is also not very strong. Hence, they do not have a definite shape because their intermolecular space is more and the intermolecular force is less. That's why they do not have a definite shape. They take the shape of the container they are kept in. That's why whenever you kept liquid like water, if you put water into a glass, it will take the shape of that glass. If you put the same glass of water into a bowl, it will take the shape of the bowl. So whatever container you take and whatever container you put the liquid, it will take the shape of that container. Liquids can flow because of this only, because they do not have a definite shape, they can flow easily. Liquids occupy a definite space, hence have a definite volume. Though they do not have a definite shape, but their volume is definite. They occupy same space, their volume never changes. For example, if you take 1 liter of liquid, it will remain 1 liter whether it is in the bottle or whether it is in the bowl. The shape is different, but the volume will remain the same. You can see here is the molecular arrangement of liquids. So you can draw this molecular arrangement in liquids in your notebook. Next is try it yourself. Take a glass of water, pour it into a bottle. Next, pour it into a bowl. Observe the shape it takes. Also observe its volume. You will observe that it takes the shape of the container it is poured in, but its volume remains the same irrespective of the shape of the container. The shape will change, but the volume will remain the same. So do try this activity also at your home. Next is gases. Air and water vapors are called gases. They have the following properties. The molecules in gases are very far apart, thus there is a lot of intermolecular space. The intermolecular force is very weak, hence gases do not have a definite shape. Yes, because they are very far apart. You can see the molecular arrangement in case of gases. You can see here the molecules are very far apart from each other. The molecular space is very large. Because of that large molecular space, intermolecular force, the force of attraction between the two molecules is very weak. Because of that, gases do not have a definite shape. The molecules in gases can spread easily, hence they do not have a fixed volume. Because the intermolecular force of attraction is very weak, the molecules of the gases can spread easily. They can go here and there very easily. That's why they do not have a fixed volume as well. Gases are also matter as they have weight and occupy space, but they are matter because they have weight as well as they occupy some space. So the gases do not have definite volume and do not have definite shape. This is the molecular arrangement of gases. You have to draw this diagram of molecular arrangement in gases in your notebook. Next is try it yourself. Take 2 identical balloons, fill air in one, tie the 2 balloons at the 2 ends of long wooden scale. Tie a string in the middle of the scale. Hold the scale from this string. You will observe that the scale tilts to the side on which the air-filled balloon is tied. This clearly explains that air occupies space and has weight and hence is matter. Now, when you put the scale, hold the scale from the middle, you will find that the balloon which is inflated will lowers and the other one which is not inflated will come up. It means that the air which is filled in this balloon has some weight. That's why it is heavier than this balloon. So the air side which is on which the inflated balloon is tied goes down. Try this activity at your home. Further, there will be a video you will see which will explain you all three states of matter.
Our topic for today is states of matter. Matter is made of particles. It exists in three states, namely solid, liquid, and gas. The different states of matter are due to the different arrangement of particles of matter. In solid state, the particles of matter are very close to each other. So, the particles hold each other very tightly. That is, there is a strong force of attraction between them. As a result, solids have a definite shape and volume. In liquid state, the particles are packed closely together, but they are much farther apart than the particles in solids. And so, the force of attraction is weaker than it is in solids. Therefore, liquids have a definite volume, but they do not have a definite shape. They take up the shape of the container in which they are kept. In gases, the particles of matter are very far away from each other, and so the force of attraction between them is very weak. Thus, gases have neither a definite shape nor volume. They can fill the entire space or volume of a container, irrespective of the container size.
Next is impurities of water. Impurities in water. There are two types of impurities: soluble impurities and insoluble impurities. First, soluble impurities. There are impurities that get dissolved in water. They cannot be seen with naked eye. Germs, salt and minerals are examples of soluble impurities. Soluble means which are completely dissolved in water, which are mixed with water, and you cannot even see them whether they are impurities present in the water or not. You cannot clearly say. This type of impurities are called soluble impurities, like germs, salt and minerals, which are mixed with the water, but we cannot just see the water and tell that there is salt and minerals mixed in it, or germs are present in the water. So these type of things are called soluble impurities. Next is insoluble impurities. These are impurities that do not dissolve in water. They can be seen with naked eye. Sand, stone and twigs are examples of soluble impurities. So the impurities which you can see with your eyes, they are called insoluble impurities. Stone, twigs and sand, these are the things which we can see with our eyes also, if they are present in the water, which we can see with our eyes. These are called insoluble impurities. Next is purification of water. Now, purification we will discuss for both soluble impurities as well as for insoluble impurities. So first, soluble impurities. Soluble impurities present in water can be removed by boiling, adding chemicals like chlorine or potassium permanganate, or by filtering. These three things we can do to remove soluble impurities from water. Either we can boil the water. By boiling, germs will be removed. Adding chemicals like chlorine or potassium permanganate, or by filtering, we can remove the germs present in the water. We can also reduce the amount of minerals and salt present in the water. So the water will become edible for use.